What is going on, everybody? Episode 138 WIwrestle podcast. The portal is open. It's already hot. Dude, Twitter and Instagram, this is like the best time of year for wrestling in terms of just like you
This
get
is
like the
our free
juicy news
agency.
stories.
This is our free agency. This is
Yep.
free agency in the wrestling world. And just like in football, just like in baseball, just like in basketball, it's like one of the hottest, most fun times of the year. That's besides like the draft, out of season. Like this is like one of the best things. This is our free agency. This is a huge day in the wrestling world, and we will get into it. But
Man,
I'm excited. I've been tracking everything in the portal. I'm keeping an eye on who's in there, who's not in there. I think there's a lot to dive into on that today.
yeah, we'll touch more on that later, but it is say what you want about the portal. You either love it, you hate it, or you're indifferent, but it does add to just it gives us like an extra couple days of just fun news. So,
It's
we'll
here too.
yeah,
Also, it's April Fool's Day, so
yeah.
you gotta like double check everything you read.
Well, I saw a post by one of like the bigger wrestling accounts, and they said like new
Oh,
rules were
the
coming out.
freestyle one.
Yeah, that's funny.
I saw the first rule that just I caught my eye this morning. It was Obsessed Wrestler, I think, and literally like I saw riding time eliminated, and that was like the first thing that caught my eye. And immediately, I was like, "This is an April Fool's joke." Like I didn't even keep going. I was like, "This is freestyle rules."
I wonder
It
if
was
that
like,
was one I saw.
and then in my head, I'm like, "Dumb joke." People
April
that want to
Fools.
eliminate folk style, dumb,
April
jabroni.
Fools. But before we get into the portal, we were at Kids State, Wisconsin Wrestling Federation, Kids State, watching the future of Wisconsin wrestling. Man, 3 days packed full of action, over 2,000 competitors. The girls had a record number this year, 889 competitors. I believe that's like 100 to 200 up from last year. So that's really awesome to see that growth. But what are your thoughts on the tournament? We were both there for about a day and a half. It's
Yeah.
it's one quick I should have said this before I asked you. It's just so chaos. It's loud. There's so much. It's such a different pace than like being in a high school gym. Granted, there's 10x the kids, but there's just a lot going on.
Well, um, I really enjoy the venue. Actually, I know it's a little older,
I love the Lion Energy Center.
but I like the way they have it set up in there. Like, I'm a fan. The way the mats just run down the middle, and I think they have a good setup there, and I do enjoy it. But the kids state part, this is my second time ever being there. It's so fun. Like, I don't know. I just have a good time. Like, we don't film as much as we normally do. I think probably 95% of people understand that and understand why. Um, and so we get to spend a lot of time just talking to people
Hanging
and
out.
interact with kids or parents, coaches, whatever. And honestly, that's I enjoy that so much more than actually filming and stuff. So it's a lot of fun to be there and to I don't know. I enjoy it a lot. Like and they do a great job. The wrestling, I was talking to a couple of people about this. It is crazy the like level of wrestling these youth kids are at. I'm like,
It's
oh my
nuts.
gosh, the technique that they're doing and stuff is like, I'm like, you guys are good. Not just like sure, if we just took you and your skill level now and put you in high school or college, like your skill level is gonna add up. If we could size you up to the appropriate weight and proportions and stuff, like holy crap. And it's not just like one or two kids. There's a lot
A lot
of
of
them.
them.
There's a
A
lot of them.
lot.
There's
I
this okay.
go.
I was gonna say there's this one. I don't want to name his name because again, like I'm not trying to like glorify a really youth kid, but like it's his first year wrestling, um, or first year I believe eligible to wrestle at youth state. So he's very very young.
It's a
I
little
know like
fella.
yeah, he's a little fella. I know his family and like his coaches and stuff like that, but he is like I was talking to him and a couple of the other coaches from his club and parents, and we were watching him wrestle. And Jake, honestly, I think I have to send you his match. I think it was his semifinal, and just the way like he's doing like he doesn't know, like he has good technique for a kid his age, right? But like the way he was wrestling and moving, like this kid is freaking good, and he's not like the only one. But I was so impressed watching this individual wrestle just because like I'll send you the match. Like the way his like hips and stuff move is like, wow, that's really good feel. Like he's cartwheeling over. It was rather impressive for a small guy, but he's not the only one. And that's like, as a fan of Wisconsin wrestling, as a coach in the Wisconsin wrestling community, like, man, it's good. It's Wisconsin wrestling. We say this all the time. It is in a good spot. I have a different thought, but what were you gonna say?
No, I just like it's nuts to watch these kids and the stuff they're doing, and they don't even know what they're doing, but just the way that they're moving, like you said, it's like, what? Like, it's insane. And I think back to we had those 4 interviews with Whiting, Hawken, Wolbert, and then we had that one with Sinclair. And kind of what they all said was just the process of getting better. And I think, like, oh my gosh, if you have these kids, 3rd, 4th, 5th grade, and they're already doing this stuff, and they may not be cognitive of what they're doing, but they're just around wrestling, they're watching wrestling. You compound that, and now all of a sudden you're a junior, senior in high school, like the skill level's gonna be off the charts. I mean, we see it now with college. Kids get to college more equipped, more prepared to wrestle just at that high level. Like, it's just
Yeah.
trickling all the way down. And even the girls, like, seeing the jumps in the girls wrestling is
It is
insane.
crazy because
Dude,
I'm not,
it's
dude. A couple
nuts.
of years ago when we were at freaking high school
It's a
state and
little,
the girls were there, I'm not gonna lie. Me and you were like, man, like 80% of it, we were like, this is not good wrestling. It's just like it's not very good. But you knew like it was the first year there at the Cole Center. I think it was the second year as a sanctioned WIA actual sport. Like you knew that that was just where things start with any sport, and you knew that it was coming. And now you
yeah.
go look at the youth level, and now we're 4 or 5 years in, and it's like, holy crap! Like it is night and day different.
It's yeah, just the level, the overall level of wrestling, the coaching, everything has just gotten so much better. But
I had no, so I was gonna. This is the other thing um, that I found. I just by happen chance, I was texting with a club coach last night in the state, and I won't say who or anything, but we were talking about like the dog mentality of just like Wisconsin, like a little bit of Wisconsin wrestlers, a little bit of like I was saying how. I mean, Wisconsin guys are not afraid to go, for the most part, are not afraid to like go and compete against the best guys in the country. And he agreed, but he also said some of that he felt was like coincidence because they have to. If they're going to go to Fargo or Super 32, they have to. He's like, but guys don't seek out each other within the state. And so we don't have like those good old fashioned rivalries that we maybe used to have. And I also agreed with that. But we kind of got into this conversation that kind of sets the basis of this. Kind of got in this conversation where I felt like there's trade-offs. So I kind of like where I was talking about is um, I feel like the state has kind of molded into it's the state. Like there's different clubs, right? But it's kind of like it's the state versus everybody else. Like I kind of feel like our state has that mentality. We're very like open arms, and like I would say for the most part, the clubs all kind of get along with each other, and we kind of like mix around really well together, like all the different clubs around the state. And so it allows everyone to kind of be friends and like work well together and like kind of grow together. So maybe there's not as many. And then my I was kind of like the trade off is you might not get as many rivalries and stuff because basically guys are in very healthy training environments kind of anywhere they go around the state. So then they're just friends and they're all trying to get better. So they, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. Does that make sense to you? And do you agree, or do you think it's like what do you think?
that makes sense. I'm curious who you're talking to. But I mean, it's also interesting that like where the Wisconsin's one of the states where we don't get like super super high level in state competition. Well, we can't wrestle any of these big tournaments, which kind of
Yes.
sucks. Which
Yeah.
I don't know why that's a rule. Like, if someone wants to go wrestle against prep school, shouldn't they have the authority to go do that? The autonomy to go say, I want to go wrestle against prep school? Why is there a government? Oh, we can't do that. That's stupid. I think that's so dumb. But no, I do think Wisconsin is very cohesive and very like tight knit in that way. I've seen other states that does not seem to have that same camaraderie, and even
Yes.
club to club. Like you go to Fargo, and it's just like it's just a team. It's one big team, and we do the training camps and we do all those things. And there are a lot of individuals that go to a couple different clubs and they bounce around and this and that. But I think it's a net positive. We still get some good
I do
matches in
think that's
season,
kind of where I was at. I think it's a bit of it's more of a net positive. Like you're gonna lose some things, maybe like a rivalry. You
but
don't
like,
get
what
them as
rivalry are we
much.
like? What's I'm. What do you mean?
Or
Like,
like, huh?
what would have been a rivalry if like is
Or
this
like a
like a new
heated
thing?
one where just like these people don't like each other. Like that. Like you don't
Oh,
get that so much because guys aren't like guys. They don't unless they
I think
have to. They don't like each
wrestling's
other as much.
also. I don't know if this will make sense. I'm just thinking out loud. I think wrestling's also still so small of a community where you have to have the top guys come together and train. And I think we see that a lot with the girls. Is like all the best girls, regardless of where they're at in the state, they all train
Yeah,
together on a pretty consistent basis because they just need to do that. Whereas like a lot of other
I think it's a
sports,
good
there's
point.
enough people within your little circle in your area.
Yeah,
You don't have to travel. I mean, think about how many kids we know that are
I think
driving
that's a good point.
hours to a club.
Yeah.
Like in a lot of sports, you're a really good football player. There's probably a really good
I would
base of
say
foot.
there's a guess, but I would say probably 25% of the state is driving over an hour and a half to get to whatever club they want to go to.
100%.
Like an hour and a half
I mean,
in a quarter of the state.
Taylor Whiting's driving to North Shore, which is over an hour. She's driving over an hour and a half to get to Lake Country, and I don't know why, but I thought Green Bay was like in
It's
her
2.5.
backyard. That's still like over 40 minutes.
Yeah, she says 40 minutes to get to Green Bay.
That's crazy.
Yeah. No, I actually think 25% of the state probably drives over an hour and a half. It might be more than 25% to tell you
Which
the
is
truth.
nuts to
Get to
think
the club.
about because if we think about 10 years ago, there was like one AWA, there was one like Crest even has. You've got Sun and Tag. You've got the two locations. You've got
Mm-hmm.
multiple Nazars. You've got Sarbacher now. Like it's crazy to think of just
RT,
how
yeah,
many
yeah.
more clubs there are. Like back then, people were driving everywhere, and it's still prevalent. But it's I mean, what does AW have? Like 8 clubs now, which is nuts. They got the Northwoods now.
Tell you the truth.
Man, Wausau's a big area. That's going to be interesting to see what if that changes a little bit. I wonder what the closest other club in proximity to Wausau is.
I was wondering that too. I don't know
Because
the
they're kind of
answer.
up in no man's land, but Wausau's big. Like
Yes,
people
and
hear
this and they
Wausau,
got
but
a
it's like
ton of
there's a
those
lot of
surrounding
people.
towns that are into wrestling. So I was wondering. I mean, like we just said, there's people that are a lot of people driving at least an hour and a half. So like you got to think. I don't know how far these other clubs are from them, but you got to think they're going to pull from a wide variety of people. Dewey is to not only just Wausau, but the surrounding towns. To just all right. I mean, this is where we got to go.
Yeah,
They're closer to us now. It's not a 4 hour drive now. It's only an hour and a half. Everybody else is doing two.
thank God.
Like you know
I'm
what I mean? Well, I
happy.
mean, it's a major difference though. Like
Yeah,
Hawken Peterson, he's in the interview. It's on record. He's driving like 5 days a week, an hour and 45-minute drive.
dude, they have a good car. They got a Toyota car. That's what it takes. Man, I drove like 45 minutes for Ringers a couple years, and
Hmm.
that felt like a year in the car as like a fifth grader. This sucks. And then I got blessed
You
with like
get
a
used
six
to
minute
it. You
drive.
start carpooling with your buddies, and it honestly, it's like I used to drive. Um, if I drove straight from my house to go to AWA when I was in high school, it was it was a solid 45 minutes. If I and most of the time I didn't. Most of the time I met up with my some of my teammates in high school, and we would all drive together. But I would have to drive into McWanago, and to get to them was about 30 minutes.
Yeah.
So like in reality, like I probably was spending an hour and 20 in the car. It goes by so like when you're traveling with your
You
buddies
got
and you're just
friends,
driving around,
yeah.
it is like very like it's kind of fun. Like it's just like it's enjoyable. You're just hanging out with your buddies. You're just yeah, you're driving. Sometimes you want to get home, but like for the most part, it's not so bad.
I just had this thought. Kid State, one last thing in Kid State.
Yeah.
I I do love the venue. I think it's really cool, and I like the way that it was kind of a big deal. I don't know if you saw it on social media. They weren't going to allow chairs and stuff in, and then
Mm.
that got absolutely the big 360. They ended up letting them in. I love how the under area, like the teams, it's like little base camp. All the different teams they got their flags. Everyone's hanging out. Because I told my dad that, and I'm like, he was asking me like, was it as packed as when you were there? I'm like, I don't remember. But I don't know if we were trying to figure this out. If we were able to do that when we were in, I don't think you could have like a base camp down there. I think that's
Yeah, guy didn't
relatively
wrestle in
new.
youth.
Yeah,
Last
I
year was my
know.
first year I bet the U State.
Yeah. But I thought that was really cool. But man, they trickle through like over 2,000 kids through there. Hats off to the
And
WWF. That is a monster tournament. And if you guys, now that we run events, obviously much smaller scale than what that is, but being kind of behind the scenes and like watching behind the head table and seeing the way they move the weigh-ins off site, like a lot of little things that kind of get overlooked. But man, that is just an absurd amount of kids that wrestled, and it's just flowed.
it's
And
crazy how many people are down below because when you go and you look up in the arena, it's like there's a lot of people in the stands. A
and then you go
lot.
below, and it's like, oh my gosh, it's like a free for all down here.
But there's a million people down below too, and it's like, dang, you would think the stands would be a little more empty with how many people are down below. It's crazy. There's
There was
so many people.
it's not funny for the staff. I feel bad for whoever this was, but there was an announcement. I thought it was so funny. They said, if you don't know where your kids are, find your kids. There is a young boy running around like heckling the Align Energy staff, and I was like, what? That was the funniest announcement ever. And I was like, what? And they're like, if you don't know where your kids are, find your kids. There's a kid running around just heckling, and I was like, man. But to think about how many kids ran through there and nothing bad happened, but man.
We got a young trash talker.
Or those kids that traded up those shoes.
Oh
Get
my
those dudes a
gosh.
sales
RT
job.
kid. Yeah.
So the story is we gave him a sticker, and then all of a sudden, you know what?
At individual state.
Well, so the next day, I don't know his name, but the kid that was trying to find Charlie,
Yeah.
guess what he traded up for? A freaking Nintendo Switch.
Oh, he was talking about wanting to do
He
that.
came
I
up
didn't
to
buy
me
it.
the next
I
day.
didn't buy that. I thought somebody had it and they were letting him do it as a to show.
I mean, maybe, but he came up to me the next day and he was like, hey, sticker to this. And he pulled up on his phone the retail value. I'm like, oh my gosh, get lost. Go run around.
Yeah,
Get some shoes or something.
He did say something. I wasn't buying it. He did get up to a headgear at one point, but these guys were trading. I was like, oh my gosh, little hustlers, little salesmen here. It was yeah, they traded up to shoes and a headgear from a sticker. They just made
It's
their way
nuts.
up. Some kid kept trying to trade me cotton candy. I was like, I don't want your cotton candy, man. And I was like, I don't want my sticker back.
No, we don't have like a whole bag of them in the backpack. But all right, well, before we move on, we got this next topic, Combat Corner. Check them out, combatcorner.com. All of our awesome merchandise is up on the website. They've got all sorts of stuff, shoes, awesome merchandise from Combat and other brands. So make sure to check them out. If you guys need anything for freestyle season, hit them up. Quick turnaround times. They can make you just about anything. So check them out, combatcorner.com. But Mitchell Messenbrink is the Hodge winner for 2026 by like the biggest margin ever, I thought I heard when they talked about it. He had like 66 votes to Jax's like 44, and then Barr had like maybe a handful.
No, I think Jax had 4.
Oh,
And Barr
4?
had 1.
1. So they said that was like the biggest margin ever.
I mean, Jax.
Rightfully so. You
No way
96%
in hell
bonus.
Jax should have won the Hodge.
No.
And Barr's weight class, I think it was Barr's weight. Like Barr had a great year, but
He had also
I
like
think it was
half the
very-
matches of Mitchell.
what's that?
He had a couple less matches.
He had less matches, and I think it was like kind of like a unanimous thought that like Mitchell's weight class was much harder than
Yeah.
Barr's weight class this year.
I mean, Mitchell's not slowing down. Is he going to join Ben as a two-timer?
I mean, I think all signs right now point to yes. You win by one of the biggest margins ever, and then you
He
got
literally
another
can't be stopped.
two-time champ. His style isn't a style that like isn't gonna go like it's not gonna become ineffective.
No.
You know, I think obviously you don't know what's gonna happen, but I would say he's firmly in the driver's seat and the heavy favorite to repeat next year. Does he become? Where does he stand on the Mount Rushmore of Wisconsin goats? Like if you look at college career sort of thing, maybe not looking at senior level so much because he just hasn't done it yet. But
He wins a second Hodge and becomes a three-timer. It's probably up top.
who stands? Who would be above him? I mean,
Right now,
him,
probably Ben.
Keegan, Ben Derringer, maybe.
Derringer won 3 titles. How many Hodges? 1?
I think one Hodge. I believe
Man.
one Hodge.
Derringer,
Did Keegan win the Hodge ever?
no.
Dang. So would you put Mitchell's career past Keegan's college career at this point?
Probably.
A 2-1-1, a Hodge, nothing yet. Keegan was what?
Three,
3
one,
1-1,
two.
2,
No Hodge.
no Hodge. I think with the Hodge now, I would put it past.
I mean, actually, all right, let's think about it. If we
Man, he was
go
close that one year to winning a Hodge.
ripping it quickly off my head, Ben, Derringer, Messenger, Keegan. But if Mitchell wins another one, he goes to, I would say, if Mitchell wins another Hodge and another NCAA title, he would go 1. And then Ben, Derringer, Keegan. That's if Derringer has a Hodge. 3 titles.
I'm pretty positive Derringer does. I'll look it up real quick. I'm like almost certain Alex
Derringer
Derringer
might
has
be
one.
like the most forgotten, not forgotten, but like just silent killer ever. He was an
Yeah,
overtime, he was a semifinal overtime win against Derek St. John, I believe, of being a 4-time national champ. Because he lost to St. John in that crazy match in the semis, and
yeah, I
St.
took
John went
third
on to
that
win
year.
it that year.
Yeah,
He was gonna like he could have been like let's not forget about that. Like he was a very possible 4-timer.
he went
Um
3-1-1-1 with one Hodge.
So as it stands right now, I would go Ben, Derringer, Mitchell, Keegan. Mitchell, if he wins another title and another Hodge, would go to 1 overall. I would put Ben above Derringer just because of his pinning, and
Also, he
just
has
more
two Hodges.
dominance.
I
And then
think
2
I would take
Hodges.
two
Yes, 2 Hodges
Hodges
over 3
over
titles.
3 titles. Yeah,
Because you're also a 2-time finalist, losing to the same dude. It's kind of, yeah.
yeah.
Man,
So Lee Kemp obviously wrestled for Wisconsin. He wasn't a Wisconsin guy though, right? Like this is
I don't
much
know.
older in my history books. I don't think he was like a Wisconsin native guy, but he's like one of the best freestyle wrestlers, one of the best American wrestlers of like
Yeah.
all time. I'm pretty sure he's from like California or something
He's
like
probably
that.
like
Oh,
we're
he's
gonna
from
get
Ohio. He's from
we're gonna get
Cleveland.
we're
Oh,
gonna get
he's from Ohio.
blasted now. He probably won like 3 Hodges.
He's
No,
from
that's not
Ohio.
true.
I'm looking up his
3-time
college.
champ for Wisconsin.
He was yeah. He went gold, gold, gold. So he was a 4-time finalist. He was a runner up
Okay,
as a
so
freshman.
this is almost a different conversation. We're talking about like Wisconsin natives.
Yeah,
Yes,
for
okay.
sure.
So
But
Kemp,
I just
yeah,
we are. I went off the rails there a little bit. Now I'm just into the Lee Kemp, um, the Lee Kemp lore.
it's
I
kind
can't
of a
think of any other
crazy,
Wisconsin native.
Mount Rushmore. If we go with those 4, they're all tied together in some way. Because I'm pretty sure Derringer might be on an AWA board. He might have spent a little bit of time in that room. Granted, not a lot, but 3 of the 4
Yes.
at least are very well interconnected, which is kind of insane.
Well, 3 of the 4 went to the same high school,
That is kind of nuts. Gosh, that's crazy.
and 3 of the 4 were coached under one man, John
Yeah, people
Messenberg.
forget that John Messenbrink is kind of like the mind. It's insane. I
I don't
love
have enough good things to say about him. Like his level of coaching, I
It's
would put
insane.
past 90% of college coaches in the country. Like he is like that guy gets it.
I get
That
the
guy's
honor
so good.
of being there on Monday nights with the high school class watching Ben and John coach, and it is just like sometimes I forget that I'm a coach and I just watch and I'm like, I got a question. I need
Oh, I
help.
do that. I
I
do
love it.
that.
It's just insane. Oh man. But no, I
I
often
think it's
think about
totally
that.
fine and normal for coaches to ask
Oh,
questions.
100%.
Like coaches oh, I'm the coach. I should no.
Well,
Like
some of the
I
stuff they're showing, I haven't even done. I'm learning too.
yeah.
Like this
Or
is
you
new
just
for
like
me.
come up with a different thought process now that you're seeing it again or something.
Um, but man, I think about like the Monday room that I'm in with the people, and then the people that are on Wednesday. I'm like, that's a crazy room that the assistants are all XD1 wrestlers. Like that's nuts. But yeah, if Keegan or not Keegan, if Mitchell wins another one, which I mean, I don't think anyone's stopping him. Besides, Aiden Sinclair called his shot on the podcast and said that he will be the 2027 Hodge Trophy winner. That is his biggest goal right now is to win the Hodge. So he's got a
Honestly,
lot of work to
I mean, if
do.
we're being honest, if there is
But
someone that actually I think could do it,
it probably could be Aiden. And if Aiden went out there and was bonusing the people that are in his bracket, he would be in the driver's seat. Because if you go out there and bonus a
his bracket's
McAnally or a Ferrari or a Welsh, I'm sorry, but I don't think anyone is on that level in Mitchell's weight class.
No, they're not. I agree.
I just don't see Aiden doing
Also,
that.
Mitchell's weight class graduated a bunch of the really good guys from this past year, like Caliendo and Bianchi, and a handful of those guys did graduate. So next year, Aiden's weight class will be harder for sure. If he wins 84 and it's the same field and he's bonusing all these people, yeah, I would give him the Hodge too. Then I
Which
love
I
that.
mean,
He's got the offense to do it. He's proven it now. Finally, like we always knew he had great offense, but he had a lot of close matches, and his defense always won him stuff because people can't score on him. But now, like I don't know, there's a freaking match under his butt, and this guy is scoring 1,000,000 points now, and it's awesome to see.
man, it's kind of crazy that of 10 weight
Well, here's the
classes.
trick now. Here's the trick, Jake, because Keegan ran into this in college for a bit too. Is he had that first really, really good year where he scored a ton of bonus points because everybody wanted to wrestle him, right?
Oh, then they start
And it
shutting
makes
down.
them open up, right? It makes them open up. But then the next year, they know that you're trying to get bonus all the time, and they shut down. It becomes a lot harder. So now, can Aiden navigate that path maybe a little better than what Keegan was able to get those bonus? Because obviously Mitchell's figured it out and still is able to. Can Aiden do the
Well,
same?
I think it boils down to one thing.
What's that?
Mitchell's style, it doesn't matter if you shut down. He is going to move you, and you're going to have to react to him. Like
Agreed.
like
Agreed.
Keegan and Aiden are much more methodical. They get your hands on him, and then they move him around. Like Mitchell's movement, like you have to match that, and it is going to absolutely drain you. And if you don't match it, you're getting ran through. So I think
Agreed.
that is a one big thing. So if Aiden, yeah, and I could, yeah,
Like people could definitely try and start conserving against Aiden. He's going to have to figure. It's a different field that he will have to navigate to try and essentially open people up to score again on them.
man. So did Derringer win it his senior year or his junior? He won a Hodge. He was that
2016.
he was that
So,
dominant, and I wonder what his like his stats were compared to like this year.
um,
Because Mitchell had a 96% bonus. He was like 24-0.
I don't know what his stats were, but
I just pulled it up.
I'm looking at his
80.
stuff.
Damn. So he ended. All right. So
He was on like a 3-year win streak, though. I think.
Derringer ended his Cowboy career with an 82 match winning streak, which is
Yeah,
nuts.
it was like the same time that Zane was going starting his or something like that.
33-0 with 12 pins, 7 techs, and 8 majors. So 27 of his 33 wins were techs, or were bonus point. And he beat Wisconsin's Isaac Jordan 6-2 in the finals.
81% bonus point. That
Damn.
year.
So Mitchell's with 96. Oh my gosh. And Forrest was higher. Oh damn.
Well, I will say I was talking to Ben about this at I watched the semifinals at Nationals with him, and he was saying that if you took the old scoring rules or took the current scoring rules and
Tex.
ran it back with the old people, there actually would have been a couple of people. I think David Taylor was one of them, maybe Zane, that would have already hit the 100% perfect bonus point with the new rules. If you like just put those in instead, there would have been a couple of people that would have hit 100% bonus point victory in a season. I think Ben said he would have been really close to it. I don't think he would have. I don't remember if he would have got it or not, but he was like, I would have been very close to it. So yeah, that definitely helps, but it's the field that you're in now.
It's kind of crazy that year Rutherford won the online fan vote.
I remember
like
that.
3,000 votes. The other people in it were Schneider and Gwazowski and Sean Garrett. Huh. But
I remember that year because I think everyone was like, "There's no way Zane shouldn't win this," but it might have been Zane's first title, and it was Derringer's third. And then I think there was a whole conversation about part of like the Hodge criteria is like previous season credentials, and so Derringer won it as a senior with 2 titles already, and I think it was Rutherford's first year winning a title. But like that, he was like putting legs in on everyone and just pinning everyone. And we're like, how is this guy not winning the Hodge?
this is kind of crazy. Derringer became the 16th all-time 3-time national champ for Oklahoma State. So he was the 16th person to do that. But then he was only the 14th to earn 4 All-American honors. 16 people have won 3 titles at Oklahoma State. That's nuts.
For just Oklahoma State. Is
Yeah. Man, that's nuts. But no, it's going to be fun next year. Speaking of Sinclair, RAF takes out World Bronze.
Yeah, he's good, man. He's just
I
so good.
loved talking to Aiden was so much fun. If you
Well,
haven't
you
seen
just
the
get to
interview,
listen.
I know. Like no hesitation to compete. He was like, "Let's do it." He's wrestling again in like a couple weeks against Zahid. The dude does not stop. Literally does not stop.
He
He
loves
was like,
wrestling.
"Alright." He's like, "I trained through nationals. What's another week? Just hang out, go to Tampa, be with all the high level athletes, get in the sun."
Well,
Because I
you
think
know he loves it because like as much as he loves wrestling and competing, he's also like if you get to know Aiden, he's also I don't want to say like a fanboy, but like Kyle Dake or he's like, oh my god, like he'll be like, oh my gosh, that's Kyle Dake.
he gets to be around all those guys.
Yeah, like he's a fan. Like those are the people he grew up watching. So he's like he's on their level now, but he's also just like straight up like these are my idols. Like these are the guys I grew up just idolizing and watching. So like yeah, if you know, he's still a fan of those people. It's like he likes those guys.
And this dude's gonna double up at the Open again. He made it seem so casual. He was like, "Well, it's the first day. You're only gonna have like a couple matches that are like really close back to back." And he's like, "The brackets are big enough. It doesn't really matter." And he's like, "Well, anything can happen." But that's crazy. Like you go out there and you're just gonna double up at the Open. That's insane.
Yeah.
He was a double finalist last year.
Do you think he
Lost it.
wins both? I mean, the Open this year is different than last year, right? Because now everybody's going to be at the Open this year. Or
I
are
can
they
never
not all
keep.
there?
I can never keep track. He kept saying there was no trials. So I don't know what that means. There, I don't. I'm
Well, because
because
they
there's
do Final
Final
X.
X,
So it's like whoever wins the Open qualifies for Final X
and then there's
probably,
someone
and I'm
sitting
guessing
in Final
whoever
X.
sat out because who's at that weight? Was it Dake?
Well,
No, was it
Hidlay.
Zahid? It was Zahid, right?
No, he
It's
was at
86,
92. So
92.
so he was at 92 for seniors, which would have been Hidlay because Hidlay beat him, and then Hidlay went on to win the world title, and then he lost
Yes.
to
So
McAnally
Hidlay
at
sits out the Final
86.
X, and there probably just isn't World Team Trials. Then it's the winner of the Open goes to.
Well, shit,
Um,
he's probably gonna win that.
well, so the Open at 92 kilos will have anybody that's going to be 92 kilos.
And then 86 will be like all of like the McAnally again. That's who he lost to in the finals in best of three.
Mm-hmm.
I should have
Yeah.
asked him more like why, like what, like you didn't win either last time. So like, do you think you'll win both? And what would be the benefit of winning both if you just
Well, I
go out
don't
and
think
win?
he's not. I can't see anybody beating him in juniors.
Well, he didn't even win it last year. He lost to McAnally.
McAnally's going to be too old now, isn't he?
Oh, I don't know what the birth years are.
I think I think McAnally was in his last year. Aiden's very young, so he gets one more year.
He's the same age as like dudes that are just it's crazy that he is young for his age because him and like Forrest and that whole grouping, Bassett, the dude's not even in college yet.
Yeah, they're his age, and Aiden's in his second year of college.
I mean, it doesn't take away that they're really good at wrestling, but
Yeah.
you kind of like a grandpa at that point in high school. Like,
Yeah, if you're 20 years old in high school, you're a freaking grandpa.
nuts.
Jax Forrest is 20 years old. Like he's insanely good, obviously. But yeah, you are old for high school. Yeah.
There's no way that Jax Force is 20 years old right now. He was 20 years old in high school?
So is Bo Bassett.
That's insane.
I'm
I knew
almost
they were
I'm like
old.
95.8% positive.
95,
Somebody fact check me on
8%.
this. Here we go. I'm doing my fake news thing. Bo Bassett. Oh, 19 years old, August 2006. I'm sorry. Jax Forrest.
That's insane.
Maybe Jax is 19 then. Jax is 2006 as well. He's 19 years old. I don't know what his birthday is. Jax Forrest birthday.
So 19
October
sounds better.
13th. Okay, October 13th. 19. I'm sorry, 19. 20,
That's
definitely
insane.
sounds better than 20. A lot better.
A lot better. But,
Still old. Sounds a lot better.
Yeah. I mean, you compare it to Levi Haynes, who's graduating college as like a 21-year-old.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, how the hell did that happen? Was he just super? Like, that's insane. But Parker, what'd you think of that call at RAF?
I didn't like it.
Really? I watched it back like 1,000 times, slow motioned.
Parker ran him, and like Dake just like kept the foot for a little bit. Like that was
Go.
not Dake's movement. That was Parker going diesel power and driving, like running him out.
I actually
I
watched the
think if
slow
he kept the
motion. I
legs, it
think it
would have
was.
been a much better argument. But he like jumped off. Like Parker clearly jumped. Like you can see him jumping in, but then him ditching on the legs was probably what hurt him, and why he doesn't get that call.
Let me see. I'm
But
gonna
like he
try to
totally
pull it up.
ran and drove him like.
See, I watched the slow motion and I thought it was definitely Dake's points.
I mean, I'm a huge Dake fan, but
All right, I'm gonna see if I can pull this up. Let's see if I've got this technical ability in me.
come on, you've been doing this long enough. You know how to do it.
I know how to do it, but I've never done a live video. Also, I don't know if this is even allowed, but whatever. Sorry.
No, you've definitely done it before.
Not a YouTube video.
Oh,
Hold
I
on.
was gonna say you've done it off of Instagram. I know there's clips of it everywhere on Instagram.
Oh, here we go.
Wow, you got the exact spot.
Well, this is a video just breaking down the sequence.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
See, he's jumping.
Okay, he's jumping, but he doesn't.
Time out. Dake's leg is fully extended. He has no power in that leg. You try and jump or make power with your leg fully extended.
I don't know, dude. If you watch Dake, like Parker, like he leaves, but right here, look at he doesn't really even expose in that he. I don't know. I think this is.
That's Parker jumping and Dake pivoting. It's not Dake's move.
I don't know.
Dake is changing. Parker left the legs, so that's where I think it. Maybe he didn't leave the legs. Okay. Dude,
I don't know,
I don't know
dude.
that he exposed. I don't know that he exposed. Maybe just put a step out point because I don't think he breaks like that plane leaning back. But like that's Parker jumping right there, like so clear. He's
I get that. I get that Parker's jumping, but the way that Dake. Yes, but the way that Dake like just has the ability not to put his like he stays upright, and I think that left he drops his butt straight down, and that left arm kind of pulls Parker through. That thing has to be so freaking tight. I don't know. This is
for sure.
And this is where freestyle kind of sucks.
I think it's a point for Parker. He still loses the match more than likely 2-3. But that's Parker's move, and like you can't tell me otherwise. That Parker should be awarded 1 point for a step out, right there, step out.
Oh, that wouldn't have changed anything.
I know, but I'm saying they made this call wrong. That's not 4 for Dake.
See, I don't know. I mean,
There's
yeah,
no
probably.
way. Watch it again. It's so clear that this is all Parker's move.
But once he jumps in the air, he has no control of anything. Like he doesn't like.
You
Dake
don't
wouldn't
get
need to
all of a sudden get points for not initiating the move.
I think you need to have, like once he got in the air, Dake didn't expose.
I agree. That's why it's a point for a step out.
Oh, so you're arguing a point.
Yeah, they called it wrong. It should not have been Dake's 4 points. No way in hell. It wasn't his move. It'd just be a point for Parker. No, the only options for that scoring should have been 4 for Parker or 1 for Parker. And Dake didn't expose his back, so it's 1 Parker. But there's no way Dake should have got any points for that in no situation.
That is the one gripe I have on freestyle. It's very subjective. I mean, obviously the refs. I'm assuming they have the best refs there. They're a great review panel, but
they got it wrong. You see the MLB refs right now, Jake. They're under heat. The ABS system is on their ass.
Really?
They are getting called. Oh my gosh. Yeah, they may be the best refs in the world, but they're still getting them wrong. Have you not seen this?
No.
So now there's a review system in baseball.
I saw that, but I didn't. Yeah.
So like you know how like when you would watch baseball, there's that square. You can see the strike zone.
Yeah.
So basically now, real time, within like 10 seconds, basically, they can call for a challenge on that pitch. Say the ref, the ump got they got the call wrong. It should have been a strike and not a ball. They can call for a challenge real fast, and it'll pop up that square basically and show you if the baseball touched it at all or not, if it's a strike. And catchers are just they are just getting refs bad or the umps bad, like missed. There was a game last week. It was like 3 times in a row the ump made the wrong call and the catcher behind home plate kept reviewing and he was right every time. and it's like it's not just that like one situation. It's been happening a
Yeah.
bunch where the catchers are like review it, and it's a strike. So the umps are missing a lot of calls. Yesterday there was a crazy call in the Brewer game. The guy was called out. The ump said he didn't touch first base, and you couldn't have stepped more on first base. They like went back right away, and like the ball got overthrown. So the guy trying to catch the ball to get the Brewer player out, like didn't even catch the ball. He had to go chase it. Wasn't on the bag, and the Brewer player ran down the first baseline, steps right smack dab on the center of the bag. They end up tagging him a little bit later once they get the ball back, and the ump says he's out, and they're like, why? Says he never stepped on first base. They go right back to review, and it is like unbelievable. And it show and like the eyes of the ump, he's not even looking at the base. He's looking at the ball being overthrown. So he just made this call, didn't even see it. Yeah. So just saying.
I watched the end of the game.
It may be the
Not say
best, but
that
they can
though.
get it wrong.
Yeah. But well, transfer portal. It's already hot and heavy. We posted
Mhm.
4
Crazy.
Wisconsin guys. What are we thinking?
Uh it's picking up right away. I thought we might see a few more Wisconsin related wrestlers in the portal at this point. We don't, but
So,
let's talk about the 4 for now, and then we'll get into some more
so
after that.
Caleb
So we got
Cady leaving App State.
yep,
Grayson Clark, 2-time national qualifier, leaving Purdue.
yep.
And then Fugit and Rivera are adios, Wisconsin.
Yes, and I mean, I think a lot of people probably saw that coming. Um,
RIP to the Badgers.
yeah.
They're
Where do
toast.
we start? All right. Grayson's leaving. He's got 1 year left. Um, I think it makes sense. He didn't qualify this year. He's kind of gone through. He's been banged up a lot at Purdue, and I don't know what their training environment's like, but sometimes it just doesn't like maybe the training style doesn't agree with your body or like however is best optimal for you to train. Maybe you just don't fit for whatever reason. It doesn't fit for you.
Which is crazy because
Um,
he's got, I would have to think, good lightweight coach, really good lightweight coach, and then you get the train with Matt Ramos.
I
It's
think
kind of
AJ
crazy.
Shop's there. Yeah.
He's a wizard
Yeah,
on
I think
top.
he liked AJ Shop a lot from what I had known. I've known Grayson for years, but in the past, I think he had good things to say about Shop. Um, but yeah, sometimes and I think kudos to any of these athletes. Um, like you know what your goals are and you know what you want, and it might be really hard to sever ties. You might have built really good relationships with your teammates or your coaches or whatever it is. Um, but I do think like major props to anybody that's willing to leave, because once you get comfortable and you get settled in, you may be willing to sacrifice your goals because you're comfortable. You know what I'm saying? And it's like you don't want to switch it up. And I think it's really hard to rip that band-aid off sometimes for athletes to be like, oh, I have a year left, or I have 2 years left, or
Yeah.
whatever it is, 3 years left. Um, and you don't want to leave because you don't want to upset people. You don't whatever the reason is. But to do it is hard. And once you do it, if you're doing it, to chase your goals and like, essentially you're not straying away from what your purpose is, like what you started the whole journey. People have different reasons. Some people want school paid for. Some people want, they're trying to make in the new world of NIL. They're just, if they can get money and set themselves up in a different way, that's also an option. But yeah, I think, and then there's people obviously that are chasing their goal for athletics. In this case, it's wrestling and whatever their goal is. And if you got to switch it up, you got to switch it up. It sounds like that's the case. I mean, if you're in your final year for Grayson, he's at Purdue. You got to think. I mean,
I wonder, like, what is that? Like, what does he need? What is he looking for?
probably if I had to get, I'm clearly I'm sure it's about reaching his goals. Two-time
Just
national
curious.
qualifier
So
doesn't qualify this.
what, like, where is he going to end up?
Where do you think is like if you had to guess? Like, I mean, it's straight guesses, but like,
I
where do
mean,
you
it'd
think
be
he might
kind
fit in?
of tough to go anywhere better than Purdue.
41 pounder.
That's kind of really quickly off the top of my head. I feel like every school kind of has like a solid guy. Because you
Yeah.
also got to think about where are you going to go that's going to elevate you from the program you're already at. So you're already in the Big Ten. So you have above average coaching. I'd say decent
Mhm.
situation Purdue. But
Well, you
where
can't just say because you're in the Big Ten means you have a above average coaching.
but I would say Purdue is above average on the staff
I would think so. You got
compared to the
Sufo,
other
Trout.
compared to the other. So I'm thinking of what program, because like you're into the portal. Okay, well now you got to go find a home. What school has an opening that you can go compete at? Because you're not going to go sit. You can't redshirt. You're an immediate impact. You got to go wrestle there. What school has an opening that is better than what you're already at? Because a lot of like those schools already have a guy.
Who's like SDSU's 41?
I don't know, but like,
I'm thinking like
is that
maybe
an
an S.
upgrade though? I don't view that as an upgrade. I would say that Purdue's lightweight staff's better than SDSU's. I mean, obviously there's
But you
other
also
things
got
that
it's
go
not
into
always
it.
about the staff. Like I was saying, like, and sometimes it's about the training environment, like the style of the training. Like there's some staffs like you like those coaches a lot, and you know that they are good coaches, but like maybe the way they train, I don't know how Purdue trains. Maybe they grind a bit harder, and Grayson's
Yeah,
obviously
well,
had
they
injuries.
should be able to freaking.
Maybe he needs an environment that like spends more time sparring or some. You know what I mean?
But
Like
that's where
whatever
as
it
an
is.
athlete you got to say those things.
Yeah,
But
but
yeah, I
like
don't
I
know.
do think you got to say those things, and there's accountability on your own part. But there's also a part where it's like the coaches are going to put you through practice, and you're going to have to do what It's like there's just like you're going live,
It'll
or
be
whatever it
interesting
is.
though too. I mean, yeah,
I
that's
think
a
Illinois is a team that needs a 41 pounder that's in the Big Ten. I think it was Danny Pucci. Maybe he was 33. I think that he was their 41 pounder. I think he might have been a senior. Um, who else? Let's see. Well, Nasir Bailey's leaving, right? Wasn't he a 41
no
pounder at
Jordan
Iowa?
Williams.
Jordan Williams.
Oh
Sorry.
yeah, he's a 49.
Who is? Jordan
Williams,
Williams.
I thought.
Yeah. Okay. So maybe not Iowa then.
He's not
Um,
going to Iowa.
well, I'm just like, what teams need a 41 pounder?
Because then you also have to think that if a
Get
team like an
a Little
Iowa
Rock,
has an
maybe
opening,
a
they're
Little
gonna go
Rock.
get. No offense to Grayson Clark, but they're gonna go get like a.
It's possible. Yeah, it's certainly
There's
possible. I think
levels.
like Wisconsin obviously needs a 41 pounder, but if I'm looking
I
at
don't
it
see that happening.
objectively, I think objectively with Fugit and Rivera leaving, and Zargo graduating, it's a terrible place to go. Unfortunately, it'd be nice to
Yeah.
have him come back, but like, who is he going to train with? They don't have like a Matt McDonough or a Seth Gross anymore
No.
as the lightweight coach, and they don't. And the 49, 33, and 25 starters are all gone. So I don't think that makes
Man, the
sense. For
Badgers are.
Grayson, it doesn't make sense. For Wisconsin, it makes sense. Um, I don't know. I mean, Jake. There's how many Division One programs?
There's
I
a lot.
think
There's like 70 something.
there's plenty that would take his services. Also, and I think this is a fair thing to look at, especially for some of these guys like Caleb Cady in the
You
portal.
can go to a smaller school and get money.
Well, yes, but I was gonna say, what about a Division Two program? Like I know, like I saw, like on Grayson's post, like for example, like the some of the Parkside guys were commenting, like come to Parkside. Like, could he end up at a Parkside?
I doubt it.
I mean, I don't think it's as likely as him going to Division One school, but why not? Think about
'Cause
it.
you're-
They're one of the best programs in Division Two, and just because he's a two-time national qualifier does not shoe him into All American and win a national title. Zach Glazier made the Big Ten finals and took third, and he didn't even make the finals.
I don't know.
He placed like fifth in Division Two or third this year at nationals. And he was a Big Ten finalist.
It'd be very rare
Like,
to be a two-time D1 qualifier and then not at least finish out to chase the goal of being a D1 All-American.
I think there's a decent amount of people that do it, but I agree. I think it's much more
Like
likely.
he's
to
not
go
leaving to go to a
Division
D2
One.
program.
But he hasn't been close to All American in Division One either.
Yeah, but I mean, okay, but then there's so many just other things that go into being on a D1 program compared to, I mean, I don't all
You're
know all
just a
the.
D1 snob.
No, but like, you know the benefits of being on a D1 team versus D2? It's a pretty vast
With
difference.
1 year left.
There's just so many things that go into being like a. I would have to venture to guess
I
that the
disagree. I
perks
think
of
some of
being a
those
D1
programs-
athlete
some
at
of those-
Purdue is vastly different than being at. No disrespect to Parkside, but
No,
like
I agree.
you go to D1,
But some of those low end,
you get your
I fully
tutors,
agree.
you get all your meals. Like there is so many things
I
outside
fully
of.
agree. I fully agree. But some of those like low, like if he's gonna go to a low end Division One school, like if he went to like one of those smaller D1 schools or a MAC school or something, like those D1 programs don't have they don't have what a Purdue or Wisconsin or a Missouri, like they're very similar to Division Two programs.
I mean, I just think it's very unlikely
have all
that
those benefits.
if it's he doesn't seem like a guy he's gonna chase the.
I think he ends up at a Division One school, but I'm just
I could
saying,
see a
like,
Caleb Cady
yeah, because that's
doing
another,
a D2,
Yes.
but I mean,
Me too.
if Grayson's a guy that's been to the Division One national tournament twice.
Yeah.
I think he's got the skills and the attributes to do it. I think he. I mean, it's not unheard of. Um,
No,
but
I agree.
I bet
I
you he
think
lands somewhere outside of the Big Ten. Is my prediction. Where
I
that
think
is, I have no idea.
I think he stays in Division One would be my prediction too. But I'm just saying, like, I think there's certainly a possibility because, like, I think to be an All American is also like there's a lot that
Maybe he goes to Illinois.
I think that could be a possibility too.
If you get to Missouri, I'm calling it now. The Missouri
I mean
boy.
that feels so that feels like the.
That feels like too perfect because
Do
you've
you
got.
know anything? Do you know
I have
anything?
no idea. No, I have no inside info.
It feels.
You've
I mean
got
that.
you go wrestle in front of your home crowd, being a Missouri boy. You've got a great lightweight coach, and it's his home. Like that's home. I think that'd be so cool, and you have enough time to really. Because that's the other thing I feel like a lot is like a Grayson Clark. You've got 1 year. You got to fully immerse yourself in that new program.
I did get a text. He has a red shirt too. Grayson has a red shirt.
So that changes things up. But like a guy like Fugit, you get a couple years. You can go get you can really get acclimated to this new program. You have 2 years. That's a little bit different than 1. I guess if you redshirt, I could see him redshirting. You might as well.
Would he have? Would they have NIL money? Does Mizzou have? I don't know.
I don't know what that. I don't ask those questions.
Oh. Well, I do agree that Fugit leaving Missouri definitely seems like from an outside looking
Makes
in.
too much sense.
It looks. I think that
good partners.
I think that's like the most likely landing spot. It's literally where
That'd
he's
be
from.
sick.
They need a 33-pounder.
Go
They have
Tigers.
Hendrick Maple. They have really good coaches. I think that one makes too much sense. But there's other teams that are certainly going to be chasing a Zahn Fugit, and there are other teams like I believe Iowa that was trying to get him as well.
That's crazy.
Minnesota,
Yeah.
and they have NIL money, I know, to give. So like, does he end up at places like that?
Rivera. I think he needs to go to 33.
He's got 1 year left. What does a guy like him do? Like,
I don't know.
I don't want to throw out the Parkside idea again, but like, where does a Rivera go? He's got 1 year left. He's a 2-time national qualifier. 2 years ago was his best year, but he's still at the national tournament this year. Like, where do you see him going?
I have no idea.
I
mean, I have to look.
Everybody needs a 25-pounder.
I don't know if he's a 25-pounder though. He's got to go 33. He seems to be sucking weight.
Maybe he does have to go 33. That's also true. Maybe he does.
Also, the comment you made when you did your Badgers reaction video, if the weight was truly an issue for those two and they did not just go up and boot out Exford, would be the dumbest thing ever. So I'm hoping that weight was not an issue.
I do hope so.
I'm hoping that
slightly. I really don't know for sure, but I have heard differently that I had heard that they were cutting weight.
Then you need to get up.
That's what I heard. I don't know how much. I don't know how bad it was, but I had heard that they were cutting weight.
Where does Rivera go?
Well, who needs a 25 and 33? Would we end up at a school like Minnesota? They know his wrestling. They've seen him wrestle. I think a lot of places could use a 25. Let's see.
I don't know.
So
you also got to think about what people are coming into these programs.
Well, but I'm thinking
Jory
like
Volk, is he done? He's a lightweight.
Jory Volk. Ooh, he was. That's a great
he's
question.
young.
He's a senior. He's a senior and junior.
Really?
He might have another year.
The other problem is you go on these websites and they say their grade and it's like completely wrong. He was a junior, but he's got a red shirt in this, and he's technically only a sophomore. It's like they should just say, get rid of red shirt and all that. Just tell me how many years they have left. You have 1 wrestling season left. It's like he's a redshirt junior, but
okay. Jory Volk was it? Jory Volk. So he had a freshman year, sophomore year, junior year, redshirt junior year, and he'll be a senior next year.
So no, not Minnesota.
Jory Volk has another year, so 30. So I think 33 for Minnesota to be out. Who was their 25? Let's see. Eligibility breakdown.
I just want to
125.
know, like, if you get
Blake
Rivera, are they leaving because of
Corey was 125. He wasn't 33. So
money, or are they leaving because they're not in a good coaching fit?
I'm guessing it has to do with obviously Coach Reeder leaving, and then both of them not having great years. I'm
Because
guessing it
like,
has to do like an added. I don't think money's an issue, right? Because Coach Bono talked about last year after the All American that they had to get him NIL money, and they did, and then he obviously goes, was he 1-2 or 0-2 at nationals this year? He's not gonna be getting more NIL
and
money.
that's yeah.
So, and he was probably, I would assume, if they're
So
giving him
these guys
NIL
are
money, he was already on a full ride. So it's not a money issue. It's definitely a fit issue, like
yeah.
you know, not having a good year. One of your coaches leaving. And I would say the same thing for Nicola. You're not demanding more money after going 0-2 and stealing a spot to go to nationals like that.
So
It's not a money thing.
got you at home. Yeah, it's interesting.
There's no way. Like connected. Like there's no way
No,
it's a
I
money.
agree with you 100%. But I don't know.
Yeah.
People don't. Yeah, that's interesting. I don't know. It'll be
I
interesting to
don't
see
know
where they
where
land.
Nicola is. No, I don't know that 125, 133 landscape. Could Missouri use a 41 if Zion was cutting weight? Do they need it? Who's their 41?
I don't know.
Last I knew was Josh Edmond, but that was like 2 years ago.
Well, he graduates this year.
Yeah, but like I don't even know who their 41 is.
I venture to guess that it doesn't matter who it
I
is.
know they need a
It's not
33.
great. Let's see.
Minnesota could use a 33. They're 41. They have Vance Vombar for next year. So he was pretty good this year. Oh, they got Tyler DeCraker coming in as well. I don't think they don't need a 41.
All right, Mizzou.
Man, WrestleStats the biz. Dude.
Oh yeah, we could take a 41 pounder. He went 0-2 at Big 12s.
Well, there you go.
Honestly, we need a 41 more than we need a 33. Because Gage Walker's not bad.
You take them both.
We need a 41, a 49. What we need is we need a 41, a 49, a 57. Mayfield graduates. I mean, there's people that will be filling the spots. I'm not as in tune with my Missouri Tigers as I once was, but dude, they've got lofty goals. Aiden thinks that it's going to be a solid squad.
Missouri always has lofty goals.
Oh, I forget Mendoza.
Yeah.
Mendoza's back.
Yeah, he's a beast.
Yeah, there's Cade Moore. Yeah, there's actually quite a few people that I forgot about. Colin Rath, I've heard a lot of great things about. He's a 57-pounder. He's from PA. So, yeah, I don't know where these guys end up. Because Teague Travis is transferred from Oklahoma State. He's done. Gage Walker, the 33, is only a sophomore.
UNI? What does UNI need?
I don't know.
I don't know if like a Nicolar fits the Northern Iowa style.
It'll be interesting, though. It'll be interesting to see where all these guys land. I'm sure we'll get a few more that pop into the portal. That is for sure. But
yeah, who do you think? Okay, so Caleb Cady, do you think he stays? I mean, it's hard to pick where he goes. Do you think he stays in D1? Do you think he switches?
I have no idea.
He's a Pewaukee guy. Do you think he comes back to Wisconsin?
I could see him going to like a D2, D3. I mean,
I was saying like Badgers, Wisconsin. Do you think he like just transfers back to Wisconsin?
I don't know. I have no idea. I mean, I don't think. I couldn't even see it. They literally has his profile's off of App State already. I couldn't even see how he did his freshman year.
So maybe he only wrestled first semester there?
Yeah. It says 404, page not found.
Let me see. Caleb.
His Russell stat.
Yeah.
Because he was definitely competing, because I saw Facebook posts about it. He was definitely...
He was 7-7 in Division I, 11-8 overall this year. Okay. His last match was January 24th at the Appalachian Open. Okay.
I don't know.
He beat a couple of D2 guys. Nobody crazy or by any means. Um, I don't know what he does. What do you wrestle at? 165? It'll be an interesting one. I think I could see Wisconsin trying to bring him back in state. Um, they
Did
don't
they
need him.
did
I
they
would take
recruit
Cody
him to
Gable.
start?
I would no. I would take Cody Gable unless they're getting him to cut weight. But I don't think Caleb Katie cutting weight is a good idea.
No, it does not match with the style.
No. And they got Cody Gable and Luke Condon, both national qualifiers, 65-74. So
I'm
who
surprised that
else?
Condon's still there, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
I think Lucas Condon is really, really good. I watched him at the Open that year he was going into college, and I was like, damn, this kid can wrestle. And I just feel like he is just completely plateaued. I think a change of scenery for him would be very good. And honestly, I would assume that he worked pretty closely with Reeder.
yeah.
They, well, who's the coach? Like who they got to bring in a good middleweight coach.
I'm very curious to see who they bring in as a coach. Super, not just curious, but excited.
They got to bring someone high level in. You can't
Yeah,
hire someone within. You need to bring like a well-known, like this is going to be a guy that's because it's associate head. I would assume, unless they're just going to be assistant. But usually you want to have an associate head just to mitigate some of the shit you got to deal with. But this is a big turning point for the Badgers. If they strike out with their hire, they're double screwed because you just lost two of your best guys.
yeah. No, I agree. They did.
This is
I
a
don't.
pivotal year for the Badgers.
It is.
You
It's
start hot, you tank, you lose your coach, you lose two of your best guys. Let's see what magic Bono can work, or what magic. Yeah, we'll see.
yeah. I think yeah. No, I would have to agree. Um, yeah, I do think Condon has a lot of very good skills, but I do think this was his worst year,
Yeah,
unfortunately. Um, but I agree. I think he's very good, but for whatever reason, we did not see that this year. I don't know what's going on behind the curtains for him, if anything. But um, so anybody else you could see like Wisconsin related that enters the portal here, or that in your head, like maybe it makes sense. Like the first one that would come to mind would be like Connor Mirasola, right? And we've talked about this a few times. I just don't see him leaving. You know,
what's the Wolf of Wall? I hate
man, Missouri
freaking
could use
leaving.
a Connor and Cole Mirasola though, couldn't they? At 97 heavyweight, Aiden
Yeah,
Sinclair, Connor Mirasola, Cole Mirasola. That'd be pretty cool, huh?
yeah,
Like
but they're
what
not.
teams could use them? Like I could see like Connor would make sense. I wonder if like a guy like I don't think either of them started. I could check like a Ian Smith or Carter Grew from Northern Illinois. Like Ian Smith was Fargo All American from Crass State, two-time state champ I think, and Carter Grew state champ as well. Like I think they're both at Northern. I don't think either of them have started. Like do those guys transfer to a different small D1 school? Do they look at going to like a McHenry that's also in Illinois or like like a high level D2 school? You know, do you see movement in that way? I don't know.
That'd be interesting.
I wonder if there will be like other people like that aren't the huge names that we're maybe thinking of that do hit the portal that are Wisconsin natives. Trying to think of all the national qualifiers that we had that big list of those guys.
I bet you we'll get 2 to 3 more people that pop in the portal, just overall.
Wisconsin related, you
Yeah,
think?
who those are, no idea.
But you're just betting on the 2.5 over,
Yeah, there'll be someone else, a couple
oh,
people.
something like that. 1.5 over.
But well, we got one last thing we got to announce. But before we do that, Grappling Gardens, best farm, our favorite farm. Check them out, grapplinggardens.com. They've got a bunch of stuff up on their website. Check them out on socials to see where they'll be at in terms of farmers market. But great syrup, great honey, great produce. Check it out. It's all on their website. But we got Wrestler of the Year.
Oh shoot!
After the bots took over, which is so annoying, but we fixed it. Wrestler of the Year goes to Max Hay in Division 1, William Christopher in Division 2, Blake
Oh my
Underwood
gosh!
in D3, and Riley Hannaran for the girls. So congratulations to
I
those. It is kind of crazy that none of the Fort Timers made it.
Yeah. So I didn't actually know who was gonna win because I didn't look, but I will be honest. None of the four would have been. If I had one vote, I actually wouldn't have picked any of those four. I do like all of them, and I know all of them to some degree, I guess. Um, Very good wrestlers, obviously. They're all state champs. Yeah. Congratulations to them. I literally thought it was
Thought
gonna
it was
be
gonna be a
Kelly,
clean.
Taylor, Hawkin, and then I was thinking like a Blake Underwood or Tyson Martin in Division 3 was my thought.
Yeah, Blake makes
Blake
sense.
Underwood makes sense though. 2-time state champ. I think he was like, was he 3-2-1-1 or something like that? Like that makes a lot of
Yeah.
sense.
I just think people get so. I mean, obviously, it's a fan vote, and we might switch it up next year just a little bit. But I think a lot of people like winning four for them is, but they're so dominant that you get like a Christopher who undefeated and hadn't done it the year before.
Very cool story of how his
A
worked out.
Max Hay, he was
Another
injured.
good story. The
He
people that
goes
he lost to
undefeated.
not
Yeah,
win a title. Like
like
Carson Newbert, was it Liam Neitzel maybe? Brayton Case? Like he lost to some really good guys to not be able to win it until his senior year to win his first title.
and like just the people they beat within the year. Like it is interesting. So you can definitely see it both ways. But yeah, all
I
very
agree.
great seasons, very impressive.
Max is the one that probably surprises me the most. Now, knowing the army that stands behind Max and how popular he is when anything we post, that part doesn't surprise me. He's a very likable guy, and it just doesn't surprise me. He's like the nicest kid, super likable. But the part that surprised me is because he had a very limited season. Because I mean, he only had a handful of matches, even at the end of the year after you considered his indie state and team state. Because he obviously he was injured, so that one surprises me a little bit. Dang, cool, good for them though. Good for them. Congratulations. We will get you all their awards. I will reach out to each of them and send them their awards. I wish I had a picture of them. They're super. I'll make sure to get a picture of them before I send them out. And
I know we should have done that last time.
I'm getting similar, but I'm switching it up slightly this year. They're cool. They're super cool. I'm gonna be honest. They're very, very cool.
I'm excited to see him. But well,
Man, good for them. Congratulations. Congratulations to those four. Good for them. Wrestlers of the year. That's awesome.
oh yeah,
I didn't vote.
I didn't vote either. The bots
Objectively,
did.
I didn't vote. So
But all right, well, stay up to date on our socials. We got those interviews out on Rokfin. By tomorrow, all the King of Wisconsin matches will be up on YouTube, so go check those out. We got a lot of stuff coming up. Get signed up for the Open on April 19th at Verona High School, and we thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you guys next time.